So hello and welcome to another tutorial in basic video editing. So hey Kane, you'll be the one watching this, recording it just for you, and if anybody else finds it useful, it's on YouTube for you to watch as you need to. So our church, Christ Church Norris Green, we're putting together our church services, and Kane very kindly has volunteered helping put some of the lyrics on the song backgrounds that we're doing. So this video is about that. It's using some different software called Kdenlive. It's another free one. It's like OpenShot that I've used. Kdenlive is free. It's available on Linux, it's available on Windows, and if you do a bit of compiling yourself, you can get it on Mac, but again it says it's outdated here. So that's at kdenlive.org, but it's open source, it's free. I just like free software. If you don't have to pay for it, why bother? So when you open it, it looks a bit different. In fact, you don't tend to have the audio mixer, but I like to see it because I like to see what the audio is doing, which is a bit different because it doesn't show you in OpenShot, or that I could figure out anyway. It might well do, and I'm just rather ignorant. So first thing we do, Kane, we figure out what video we're working on. So you're on a Windows machine like me now. I've got Windows instead of Mac OS X, whatever it is now, from a MacBook. So you can either do drag and drop and it appears here, or you can do add. So if you hover over it, go back, hover over it, it says add clip or folder, so you can add a whole folder, whatever you're doing here. So add clip or folder. For some reason, search for documents. This search thing, and search for documents. You have to type it up here, but its actual search function, I've never used it. I tend to just go to C drive, users, Tom Law, which is Tom Smith, and documents, and I've got my own folder structure. So I just tend to like using documents, because then if need to copy things, my sound driver stopped working the other day and I had to reinstall Windows, and it just meant I could copy over everything very easily. Didn't have to go looking in the videos file or pictures file, and keep my own folder structure so I don't lose anything. So go to here, it's in songs, and we've got our own folder structure, and here is love, and add it that way. Also going to be needing, which I'll put on the Google Drive for you, Kane. There's an image, there's a blank frame. Where are we? This blank frame. So I'm still using GIMP video editor. It's basically a transparent background with this white edging, and it's helped set the different videos apart. So I'll drag and drop that over, because it's a flaming GIMP file, XCF file. Should have done this beforehand, sorry Kane. Open recent, blank frame, file. I need to export it to documents, video service, images folder, and it's called blank frame. I've got blank and black frame there, hang on then. Let me go back up out of that to images. I did check. Oh, there we are. So there's a a blank one which has got a transparent background, so you can overlay it, and it's got a white frame overlaid on top of stuff. And then there's a black one which is helpful as the text background, so that I'll show you in a moment how that works out. The other thing we're going to use is not you, get out of the way, embarrassing me, being forgetful. So at pixabay.com there's lots of free images, and there's free backgrounds as well, video backgrounds. So this one, it's supposed to be a loop. Let's see if it works. But it says here, Pixabay license, free for commercial use, no attribution required. So it's free for us to use. If we wanted to use it commercially to make money, we're not needing any special license, we could do that with it. And also we don't have to credit to anybody, so it's no attribution required. So it's just basic, it's just something in the background. And well, we're only going to be maximum 1920 by 1080, so might as well only do that. 6.8 megabytes for a, how long was it, 11-second clip. So you can donate if you want, but it's downloaded my video to my downloads folder. So I tend to, again, folder structure. I've got stock images to download, and sometimes I've tweaked them, like the pantry one, and stock video. So I've got some other sample videos I've used, and we just drag this over, keep it all there, so it's called particles. So let's Alt tab to Kdenlive, Alt tab to that folder, and then I find it just quicker dragging and dropping. So you're with me so far? Straightforward. We're just loading up the media we need. So down here you've got your video track 1 and audio track 1. So this is going to be, well, tends to be the base of everything we're working with and around. If you were putting other audio in, you could add separate audio. If you had a sound file you wanted to drag down to here, if I put this in, it splits the video from the audio, as in doesn't separate it, it's still stuck together, still grouped, but it puts it separate apart from here. That's the way it works anyway. I don't actually know if you can add, oh, could add, I'm not going to fart about with audio anyway, I don't need audio, extra audio tracks. So I'm learning as I go as well. Let me just delete that and put it back in. So we've got this one. The effects, the stuff that we're really interested in, are up here. So we just listen to the song first of all. So it's starting there. You can see actually as well, there's no sound before this. I really like the wave format of this. Open shot, I don't know, just didn't do audio as well, didn't display audio as well for me. So I'm just going to drag this forwards a bit so we don't have too much empty space at the beginning, and then I'm using my scroll on my mouse. If you weren't doing scroll, so you've got your zoom in and out here as well, so you could go and drag your timeline marker to the end. And I'm just going to do this zoom level here. Okie doke. I use spacebar to pause and play. So if I put my cursor on spacebar here, you can do it there as well. Sorry, Kane, or anyone else watching this. trying to get on with it. So before I forget, I'm going to do some audio correction. I want the track to fade in and fade out, and what you'll notice, the little triangle here, I'm pointing with the finger on the screen. Use the arrow tone, use the cursor. So here at the end you can see this red triangle that's appeared. Now this is 3 seconds of fade out, which will do us nicely, so we can listen. And Ian beautifully ends the song with Becky. And also we did it at the beginning as well, so let me go show you that. So a soft fade in. So we've done audio fade in and fade out, and as long as nothing goes wrong, that's the audio side of it sorted. They tend to record nice and loud for us, Kane, so we don't need to mess about too much. If you wanted to, you can use this gain feature if it was really quiet, you thought it's really quiet, and increase it. But for them, I tend to, it's again good audio, I tend to leave it. So I'm just going to delete that. So if I click on the video track, it shows me any effects on the video, and I was clicking on the audio track down here to show the effects on the audio. And we could, you know, if we wanted a longer fade in or fade out, we can change the number of seconds there, or you can, if you need to, go and drag the arrow here, but we'll keep it as 3 seconds. So next thing we want to do is make this video just appear in one corner. So we're going to click up here on alpha transform, and we're going to do this transform, double click on it, and then size 50%, and it shoves them up here. Oh, just, yeah, Jonah isn't in this that you can see, I don't know. Yeah, but Jonah normally is on the car, isn't he? So we've got our video track up in the left corner, and we're going to have our lyrics down in the bottom right. So the lyrics I want on a black background, and they're going to be, this black background is going to be the whole length of the video, and it's going to have, oh, really cool thing, let me show you this, Kane. So I want it to be 50% as well. So if I just right click on that one we've already done, copy, select this one, right click on it, paste effects, it does it 50% with the transform, effect on it already. And what we can do is say then, well, I want it, can I do it? Oh, boom! Let me do control Z, undo. Okay, we'll just have it selected, double click transform. Oh, it's not going right tonight, I'm tired. So I've done it 50%, so you can see it's taking up that space. We're going to align it to the right and to the bottom. Why can't we see you? Black frame. Dope, because the flipping things over here. Sorry, I am tired, I did say, didn't I? So we've got a frame around where the lyrics are going to go. We want a frame around this one now. So let me insert a track here. It's going to be a video track, and it's going to go above video 1, which is our music video. And this one is just going to be a transparent frame, and this one, again, it's going to be full length. So you can see it's gone around the whole outside of all the videos, but because the top black frame where the lyrics are going is at the very, it's on sort of the top of everything, you can see that's at the very top. And then we've got our blank frame, which is the next image. Then we've got our video musicians as at the very bottom. So I'm just going to right click, copy, and do paste on this one, because it's going to be around our musicians. And so actually what I can do with this one is go, I'm just looking, Kane, to see there's a bit of space up here and a bit of space up here, so we could change this around actually. So let's do, you're going to be at the bottom now. No, we'll keep it like that. Should have this is what happens when you don't plan what you're going to say or do. I've been off a week and my brain's frazzled coming back, which is daft, isn't it? I've not done any video editing for a week and I've forgotten it all. So you can see these two meet here, but actually we can overlay slightly the this track. So let's see if I go this one, sorry, where the lyrics are going to go. If I do it at 55, and then again we're just going to align it to the right and align it to the bottom, and just see how it overlaps slightly. So if we went to 60%, what would that look like? Align it to the right, align it to the bottom, so it's covering the guitar a bit. So I'm just going to do Control Z, and we'll just have it ever so slightly overlapping, because it's nice to be able to see the musicians. That's why we're doing it this way now, instead of overlaying the lyrics over the top and doing this alpha gradient thing, which it is in Kdenlive anyway. There we go, Control Z twice there. So 55% seems to work well in this video, so that's the figure that we're going to be working with when we chuck in our videos. Okay, so we got that basic framework there. Next I'm going to do an insert track, what's going to be in the very background. Insert track, video track under video 1. So this particle one we want in the background of everything, so that there's something pretty to look at, filling in the black space. Do you get me? I hope you do. And what we do, hopefully this is a loop, so there should be a seamless join here. I blinked and missed it. Was there a join, or did it fade nicely? Could not tell. So we're just going to Control C, Control V, just paste it in a bit, and then stack them, drag them together. So this is where we're at. You can actually press and hold Shift and select more than one item, Control C, Control V, and drag them in. So don't need that last one. We'll delete him. So I could right click and click delete selected item, or press select it and click on delete on the keyboard, and then I'm just going to snap that last video. Oh, something really important we didn't do is fade in and fade out. I do like a good fade from black. So there's the audio correction here, there's image adjustment down here. We're going to do fade in and fade out on this video we just selected, and so let me just minimize that a bit. We've got a 3-second fade in and fade out. 3 seconds is standard for it. So you'll notice at the end this video is fading out nicely. Well, we need that effect, fade in and fade out on this one, fade in, fade out, and on this one, fade in, fade out. But on this one we just want fade out, and thankfully it's less than, well, this clip is more than 3 seconds available. If it was shorter, I might be in a pickle and have to drag everything from one side to the other and clip the beginning to give enough of an ending to have at least 3 seconds of fade out. So that last clip there is fade out, everything else is fade out. I'm going to select all of these you can see in yellow and group them, group clips, right click and click group. Well, before I do that, just do the fade in on this one. So in a bigger video you can, like sections of video you're sort of working on in one go, and if you need to drag it all because you're inserting something else, it's just helpful grouping it. So it's just a good habit. You probably won't need to do that, Kane, so I apologise if it's unnecessary. So now that's beginning to look quite nice, isn't it? We've got a fade in, a fade out. Oh, lovely. So it's just losing some frames there, sorry. One thing we haven't done is saved our file, so best do that in case anything goes wrong. So I'm going back to documents, my video source. You saw my Minecraft. George and Isaac and I have been playing Minecraft a bit over the holiday on a server. It's a song. It is Here Is Love. So we're going to call it Here Is Love. And it's going to not be .mp4. It's going to be a .kdenlive file. Click on save. Right. So that's the bulk of the work. Now we just need to figure out the lyrics. So this one was a little bit awkward. Don't need you anymore. That one, website didn't work very well. Get our lyrics. Right click, copy. Go to, this is the way we do it, isn't it, Kane? I did oceans in this format I showed you. LMNO, oceans. Oh, picture in picture. This is the one I wanted. Right click, make a copy. Oh, get rid of you. Copy of oceans. Well, I need to, you have to, Here Is Love, delete you as well, remove. Copy of oceans. Oh, I shouldn't be doing this late at night. Here is love. Say late at night. It's 9:15. My brain is switched off already. It's checked out. It's gone. Here is love. Okay. Open this. Now this is pure black. Okay, so let me run you through this. So I'll share one of these slides with you, Kane, because it's got this white around the edge. So we've got the background of the slide is black. Okie doke. The font, oh, we've got this white box around the edge, which, does it tell us if of a thickness? Right, border weight, it's 12 pixels, is that 12 pixels thick, sitting right around the edge, and that seems to blend nicely with Kdenlive's little box there with the white edge. Just looks neat and tidy. If it doesn't have the white edge, I did have a look and it just looked a bit poo. So this song, can I send you to the back? Right click. Kane, I hope you don't have this issue when I send it to you. Right click, order, send to back, get out of the way. Right. So you can tell when I edited this last, I did the border last of all because the focus, the flipping border's in the way. Right click, order, center back, and now I'm going to select all of you and get rid of you, delete. So I'm left with this one slide with the border, and we're keeping, because I think this is 39 font. Previously the font, it wasn't as big, but because we're reducing the area we're working with, because it's only a quarter or 55% size, it's about a quarter of the screen visible, we're making sure that the words on it are big enough to be viewed easily on a smartphone, or people are watching YouTube on the TV now. It's amazing. So Kane, you probably got fed up and decided, I know where I'm up to now, I know what I can do. So just for anyone else watching, I've got my lyrics I've copied from here previously. Right click, click on paste, and you'll notice I've left the format in here, so I can select that, paint format, and I can get my format done easily. So I'm using the same size font again. This the color, because previously, where's the font color there? Previously I'd been talking about doing off black and off white, because of doing this alpha gradient stuff, the alpha layer or chroma effect, was it? I can't remember the name of it in OpenShot. And overlaying stuff, it worked better than being pure black and pure white over the top of a video. Well, we're not worrying about that now, and it's just easier. This is pure white, pure black, and pure white border. So Kane wonderfully suggested in his video he sent me, first one he did, that stuff is centered, because I had everything left aligned. I don't know why, I didn't think about it. So Kane, wonderful with your input. We're doing stuff centered, and I try and have it centered vertically. So let me just duplicate this, right click, duplicate slide. So now I've got what's on this slide now on this slide, so I can come back to this one, and I'm just doing one verse per slide. Oh, scroll back. Here is love vast as the ocean, loving kindness as the flood, when the Prince of Life our ransom shed for us his precious blood. So you can see it's going right to the edges, but I get this to near the bottom of us being a bit picky. So there's the same gap here as there is up here. Where's my circle gone? I made a new cursor with this other software, real world cursor editor. I'm recording this with OBS Studio. My phone is using this Droid Cam. So that's another software. Selecting this, you can see here, oh, we've got the big X, that's bang in the center. That's what we want, beautiful, centered. Because if I try to do two verses or the 8 lines, it's not big enough, is it? So we're doing it this way. Here is love vast as the ocean, loving kindness as the flood. Does it look better with a capital there? So this is all the stuff you can fart about with. Here is love. So I've gone through it all, listening to the video on VLC of Here is Love, and listening to it line by line, word by word, getting it all in order, checking for, I think on this one, nothing in it said here the, so change it to this because that's what they signed. Nothing in this world I see, thou hast cleansed and sanctified me, thou thyself hast set me free. So It's got the white border, black background, font here. This one's 62 on the title page. This is all 39. It's Calibri. That was Calibri as well, wasn't it? It's not in bold, it's not italics or underlined. You can see it's not underlined easily. So when you've got to this stage, Kane, it's like usual. We've got it starting on the right slide, clicking on present, and then let's hope that awful cursor disappears. So I'm going to do an image capture, pressing the Windows key and doing print screen button on my keyboard. Going to the next slide, doing the same. I hope that little cursor's not imprinting on everything. If it is, I'll be really upset. Printing screen, so that's creating the screenshots. How do you get out of this? Flipping. Let me go here. Why has this gone into don't need it anyway. So we're in Explorer, File Explorer, is it called? File Explorer. We're in File Explorer. You can go to I don't like this quick access stuff. So it's not in documents. It automatically chucks it into pictures, which I go to. Select the first one, press and hold shift, or select the last one, press and hold shift, press the first one. You can do it in reverse, doesn't matter. Right click, rename. This is completely different to a Mac. You can just do this once. Here is love, and it's got them all numbered 1 to 7. Amazing. Now we're in our songs folder. Here is love folder here. We're going to drag and drop it across so it's all into here. I'm going to alt tab to Kdenlive. I'm going to alt tab, get the focus back on the folder here, so I can just drag and drop it in. Then it's going to be, is this the black one? So it's going to be above this. Insert track. It's going to be a video track above video 4, so we've got video 5. Going to be here. So we can select this, because this is in the bottom right corner, copy it and paste it. Although we don't want the fade in and fade out, you'll be really pleased to hear, even though it's so easy doing fade in and fade out, we're just having it rather blunt. So after the first 3 seconds of fading in everything together, we're going to have the name suddenly appear nice and sharp. It's all fading in. Here is love. And he started singing there. So let me go and zoom in. Just bring that there. Scrolling here. There is a scroll bar hidden down here somewhere, but I can't see it because the thing's so dark. You know, like you have a scroll bar on the side. Sometimes there's a scroll bar here. It doesn't. Oh, there the thing is. It's so tiny, so you can't see it. It's just there. You can grab that and scroll like that. I've got a scroll wheel on the mouse, so that's how I'm doing it. If you didn't have that, you can zoom out and just drag the cursor here. If you zoomed in, can you drag the cursor? Let's see, can you drag? Oh, you can just drag the timeline. Sorry, press and hold left button on your mouse and drag. and it takes us through. So you can do it that way, Kane. So we're into the first verse, and so we can right click, copy, we're going to paste effects, and now it's a case so the thing, did I make an error there? Did I make a mistake? So I've got this here is love selected, right click, copy, select this, paste effects. There we go. So listening through, zoom out a bit now because I'm going to be dragging this, and this is cool. You can do that as it's playing. If the big pauses in songs, Kane, I tend to leave gaps between verses. So we're on blood there. We can get this next one. Oops. So listening back, it's that sort of stutteriness as it's compiling, rendering the preview for us, dealing with that. I drag it back forwards before. So paste effect. You can see how much easier this Kdenlive is. So as soon as they get to that first syllable of the word, I'm just sort of, everyone's already singing days, they know the word that's coming, we're not worried about. So we're talking about leaving gaps, because we're not doing really blended transitions, it's just snappy. I can leave a gap here, and again this is where the black background is helpful. So I'm going to paste effects I've copied from this previous clip. It's black background when our lyrics aren't there. And paste in effects again. Paste. Sometimes you can have this selected here and be so sometimes it's easier to click on the thing that you know you don't want and then select the thing you do, right click, paste effect. If it goes pear-shaped, just delete what you've been up to, where you've been up to. That's here is love 4, so it's 5 we're dragging and putting in. Select off, select again, right click, paste effects. This is upsetting me. Why aren't you behaving? Have I clicked on something else? Let me copy that one then. I'm going to delete you because I don't trust you. select off it, select the right one I want, or let me copy that one, then select that one, paste effect. Thank goodness. So you can actually go and line these next ones up, paste effect, select that one, drag it in, select it, right click, paste effect, move right away, from above, and heaven's peace and perfect justice. So this is much easier to use, the software. The blocks are easier to manipulate. I think the effects are easier to put in as well. And I think this actually, I think it's easier to use, Kane. I hope you think the same. I hope it works on the computer you've got there. If not, I'm sure you'll tell me. If anyone else is watching this to use, I'm sure that you'll let me know if you want any help, if you get stuck, or you can Google, can't it, and see if anyone's done a better video than this. But you can be in touch with me. So I've got this 3-second fade out. Let's see if we want the words all the way to the end. So the singing finishes. Lovely. Okay, so let me just save all of that. That is the editing side of it done. Now we need to render it or compile it. So we can click on the render button here. You'll probably, I quite like having the videos in MP4 format. You can play with the format, anyone who's doing it themselves. Kane, you probably, if you stick with MP4, we want to do the full project. You could compile a particular zone that you've selected, you know, when doing like, you know, if you had a section you wanted to do. We're just going to do HD for web. I've found on really long videos, MP4 on, for some reason, just doesn't work very well for me. I've looked at different ways of doing it. So web movie, or whatever it stands for, that uploads to YouTube. On short, these song videos that Kane and I are working on, MP4 seems to work all right. You select, you want full project. What I had to do as well to get WebM to work, I would have the encoder speed set to here, so 1 notch down from the right, and only working on 4 threads of my processor. If you're just working on a short video, you can just do parallel processing. I think that maybe just uses 2 cores. I don't know the full detail. And then you just click render to file. This video, it says it's 3 minutes ish long, and it's going to take however many minutes to compile. So once it's all compiled, you just want to watch it through again, listen to it, check everything's in the right place. You can, even if you just fast forward and see that the transitions, if you put transitions in something, that it all looks right, and hopefully you're all sorted. So if you do want any help, you can message the channel. You can email me, tomlangdonsmith@gmail.com. Happy to help in these times, and hopefully you'll be able to do something different with that. It's a bit easier, I think, to use an open shot, especially with the effects and transitions. One thing I didn't show you, if we would have selected, say for instance, the particle video that was in the background spaces here and here, we could have changed the color of it with image adjustment. You can use all of these different effects, have a play with it, change the color. Oh, there's the color. Change the color levels of it. If we did want that a particular color, say the church years just come out of Pentecost in red, so if it would have been red over it to align with that, or you know, Kane, you might decide a particular song evokes a particular mood or feeling, and colours are associated with that, aren't they? So you can play with colours, you can play with effects on background images, although we're not trying to play with the effects on our musicians. We don't want to take the focus off them too much. Yeah, you could add all sorts of different effects. I'm yawning. Oh, I'm awfully sorry. I didn't cover my mouth. Just waiting for this to finish. It's pretty quick. I think it compiles quicker than OpenShot did when I've tried it on this machine. I think it is a bit quicker. That could just be because it's a slightly different computer, a slightly different coding experience. OpenShot, when I tried it on this machine as well, for some reason, this is why I changed to this as well, Kane. OpenShot was really glitchy on Windows. It was really stuttery, the preview. I don't know if you found that at all, if it's a bit stuttery for you, but Kdenlive, you saw as I was previewing it. I'm just clicking on close there and going, oh, it's gonna have saved it in the videos folder. So that's our original clip. Oh, I forgot to do my formatting as well. So it's gone and dumped it in here because I didn't tell it to put it anywhere else. So renaming this, I like to have lyrics in capitals at the end because then it's easy to identify. And I'm going to go and dump it back in the correct folder so I know where to find it when I need it. Here is love. So in here, it's the one called Here is Love lyrics. We're going to just... So, Here is Love. This is the file name. It's not going to be in the actual video that we use. Move back. I can read that from nearly the other side of the room. It's nice and big. Hopefully it's clear on people's phones. And so I said you can just... VLC is another free piece of software for videos, music. I'm just going to go through it all. Don't have to worry about the transition effects here. Lovely. So it's got the fade in and fade out. There we go, done.